Hello, welcome to the Smite God Guide for Ah Puch Horrific God of Decay. We're going to start with Ah Puch's passive, Hollow Ground. Ah Puch restores 5% of his maximum health and 3% of his maximum mana for each corpse he picks up. His first ability, sorry, I'm just using Xbox controller because that's what I'm used to. Throws out one corpse at rank 1 and 2, but when you upgrade it past rank 1 and 2, it actually goes up to 2 corpses. This is actually the best damage to get out of Puch until and then there's actually slight variations from where you can go. His passive is good because the health really helps Puch actually sustain in a fight or actually between fights at higher ranks. I'll tell you why he can do this and why this is a good thing. His X moves thrown around corners like just seen there. And this ability actually has a slow on it, which is 20 to 40%, and the slow lasts for 3 seconds, and a corpse lasts for 45 seconds, and the max corpse you can have is 6. Ah Puch's A is Corpse Explosion, not as A, that's the Xbox controller, can I get it right? Second ability is Corpse Explosion. This ability is useless. Do not use this ability unless you have corpses down. This ability at max rank without corpses does 100 damage with 10% of your scalings. This is awful. With a corpse, it actually changes quite a lot and it's actually quite useful. For per corpse, this ability does 160 plus 25% of your magic power. This is really good. I'm just going to call in show this move faster. Sorry about this. Should be more prepared, but at max, if you have 6 corpses down, which I said is the max amount of he can have, after 6 corpses will just be removed and swapped out for the newer ones. This ability with 6 corpses does 1060 damage with 160% of your magical scaling. Magical power scaling is what I'm trying to, I don't even know what I'm trying to discuss, I'm all wrong here. Forget I said anything. Yeah. 6 corpses, 1060 damage with 160% of your magic power. I'll explain to you a wee bit later why this actually isn't so great. Actually, I'll explain it to you now. This is very hard to do, and no one, unless you have your corpses in a weird spot, you don't expect them, you will not hit this. It's just not going to happen. And this is because, first thing, corpses actually have a health bar, which people see from quite a distance, and they're 2 hits to destroy, so most auto attack characters can actually stand auto attacks. Everyone's auto attack. Most ranged characters actually can stand out of this and destroy your corpses while being outside the corpse explosion damage. Each corpse explosion, for each corpse in the corpse explosion, the corpse actually has its own radius. So it's, you normally, if you did have 6, would only have like 4 or 5 corpses, because the other corpses wouldn't really reach unless you really compacted your corpses on top of each other, then actually it would. I'm going to move on to Ah Puch's third ability now, which is Ah Puch's Fleeting Breath. This ability is the only reason I think Ah Puch isn't great, because of his passive. In the top right corner you'll see a God rating of 8 out of 10. This because Ah Puch is a wee bit underpowered. I think they go buff the God very simply, as in his passive, which I didn't say, he actually, as seen there, his cooldowns on his first and second ability actually go down upon picking up a corpse. I think Fleeting Breath should actually get this, but not as all, because I think if I'll explain a wee bit later why I don't think it's all. But yeah, this ability applies a stun. Well no, it does actually 30 to 50 damage per tick. This takes 4 times, with these ticks also having 20% of your magical power. If an opponent is to heal, while this ability is ticking down on them, they will be stunned for 1.5 seconds to the end of the duration, and take from 50 to 250% damage, not 250%, no they do not, they take 50 to 250 damage with 50% of your magical power. This takes 4 times, it says second heal, it takes over 4 seconds to stun. If someone is to heal, that's 1.5 seconds. This, with a mixture of Divine Rune, can actually pressure out healers of healing, because the heal won't be able to overcome the damage of the ability, plus the stun with Ah Puch being a burst mage, this will actually just cause a lot of problems for the opponent. And it's actually what makes Ah Puch pray. I think it's his best thing, he's the best in-game anti-healer. Ah Puch's ult is into the crypts. Each wraith does 40%. No, it does not do 40%, stop saying percent. It does 40 damage to 80 damage per wraith. If someone stands still, they get hit by 12 wraiths. Also, each wraith has 10% of your magical power added onto it, obviously, as skillings. No, not skillings. Percent. The wraiths do not go through certain things. They don't go through an Odin ring. I'm pretty sure they don't go through most walls actually. I don't know that for a fact. I think they. I don't know. But they don't go through an Odin ring. This is why mages, if they did, Ah Puch would have great synergistic combo with Odin, like Odin and Zeus. So because of this, he actually doesn't, and in my opinion, it actually makes having an Odin a dig, like, because Odin's going to have his ult up every team fight, and you're going to have your ult every team fight. So the problem is, in the Odin ring, people actually will, if the Odin ring's dropped and they have a healer, they'll be pressured out, won't heal either, and then that gets rid of Ah Puch's Fleeting Breath heal. Now this Fleeting Breath, I should have said this earlier, actually doesn't work with Meditation Cloak. So, if you are under Ah Puch effect and are going to die, just pop your Meditation Cloak to heal enough not to die. When Ah Puch activates his ult, he actually, for a brief second, cannot do anything. It's 0.6 seconds, and we're going to move on to the build now. Ah Puch is very mana hungry, so there's a lot of mana, MP5, and later on I'll tell you something about Ah Puch which makes him very sustainable between team fights. So first item for Ah Puch, I think it's the best start item for a mage, is Sands of Time. This gives him 20 magical power, 10% cooldown, and 5 MP5. The passive is more MP5. Ah Puch suffers from mana problems, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion, he just does. With very low MP5 and mana pool, with very high mana costs and short cooldowns. So this ability helps. Shoes of the Magi are better than Shoes of Focus, in my opinion. Practically, there are certain gods where maybe Kukulkan, don't think I'm pronouncing it right, actually does work where Shoes of Focus gives them mana and his passive actually gives them more power, but it's not that much, so maybe Shoes of Magi would still be more damage. Yeah, but the 10th, Ah Puch's scalings are not great. I think it's, yeah, his base damages are good, but his scalings aren't. I've been getting so much stuff wrong then. But, so the 10 pen actually gets across his damage pretty well. Now, most people would start into an offensive item after their boots. No, I don't think this works well with Puch. As I said earlier, his scalings actually aren't that great, with Corpse Explosion really having 10% by itself. That his ability is not good, as I said earlier. Your Fleeting Breath having 80%, and your Undead Surge, your first ability, only having, don't know it, 2 seconds please, only having 35%. That's, I don't like power in Puch. I think if you build power, you're actually sort of new to Puch, and either you're that or you're just not educated enough in this game. Why did I buy Breath of Valor? Mana is very good in this god, I'll tell you why once we get to that threshold. Breath of Valor gives you MP5, 20, and plus increases your mana, which an increase in mana works well with Sands of Time, because that means you actually get its effect with having more mana, so you can actually replenish a wee bit faster. Ah Puch doesn't have an escape, so protections help him get out of a fight. So I'm going to move on to the next item, which is Voidstone. Voidstone, I think, is a wee bit on the stronger side. I think they need to add an other item like Voidstone, with not the same passive, maybe different stats, but something similar, because this item is very strong for right reasons. I don't think it needs to nerf, but if the Guardians to build this, I feel like I'm cheated out of an item on Puch if the Guardian builds this, I would actually recommend Guardians not buying this item. It's too offensive for them. I think Genji's guard would be a better option on a Guardian. But why are we getting voice note? Health works great in this god because you restore it upon picking up a corpse. The magical protections protects you from taking magical damage. And the magical power isn't great, but it's all nice. The passive is, of course, the magical protection decrease upon people around you. This works well in the later game when we move on to a different strategy from Puch. I'll show you once I get the item needed really to do this. So next we got Pythag's Piece. There's 2 good lifestyle items in this game, for magicals at least. I don't like Polynomicon and I don't like Big with the Dead. Polynomicon too gimmicky. I know gods like Scylla can make a lot of it because they have a lot more power. I don't even like this on some like Kwong has a lot on Freya. I feel it's just too weird, and Freya not even building that much magical power. It doesn't really make sense. I feel that Bancroft will be a better item, even though it does give you a lot of magical power, and Freya's not great magical power. That's not a Freya guide, kind of move on from Freya. But I think Bancroft, because 40% lifesteal plus 200 power, even with gods low scaling, 200 power is a lot of power. And you will probably, in most gods, have Wrath the Hoodie, which actually, I 250 power off Wrath the Hoodie with Bancroft's talent. Pythag's Piece works great, or I am lifesteal. Power. I think this is one of the better lifestyle items, and Bancroft's talent are both really good. Some mages work better with Pythags, some mages work better with Bancroft's. Next item is Gem Viso. This, I would say, most people don't level the ult with Puch. This is 10% per 10 damage per wraith isn't that high. I would do it because of this item. If you hit someone, they're stuck in there for a wee while. Even though it's 10 damage, it actually helps a lot with his damage. Also, with Fleeting Breath ticking 4 times over 4 seconds, this person is slowed for 6. With Ah Puch not having an escape, this means Ah Puch can get away better because he can slow his opponents. And if they used, like, I don't know who would, Uller has his second ability and bow stance, axe stance actually give him movement speed. This will counter it and let you get away from Uller a wee bit better. Or other gods with, without escapes or like get-ins, like leaps or jumps, like Freya, you could actually get away pretty easy from her because she wouldn't be able to chase you easy if you were able to constantly slow her. This is why Witchblade's good in Freya, not Witchblade. Don't remember the item now because I'm panicked. So the next item I haven't built yet. So I think this item's really good with Puch because it's 2 abilities really. His ultimate ability and his Fleeting Breath. You can cover a lot of distance in 2 seconds when your opponent is slow for 25 seconds. Later on I'm going to show you something else, and when I done this I didn't think about doing it the other way. Now thinking about it, I would have actually reversed the order. Shield of Regrowth is when stuff changes for us gods. This is called corpse hopping. I have no idea when it came out. For some reason no corpses actually dropped there. Maybe I just didn't see them, or from my opinion didn't drop for the way I saw it. So you'll be, I don't know what level by now, higher than what I am at this point. But even so, this is what you do. You just run around your opponent throwing. This is why you have constant cooldown. You throw your corpses at your opponent, and you do not use corpse explosion unless you want to kill the opponent. Now you're like, oh, I always want to kill the opponent. I mean, if you are going to kill the opponent with damage, like, will that kill the opponent if you use your corpse explosion? If not, it's more efficient and easier on your mana to just run around like a lunatic. This is advanced techniques coming out here. This is a beginner's guide to Ah Puch. This is simply, I think, I'm not the best player at this game. This is me just showing you how easy it is. I would actually recommend throwing your Fleeting Breath in your opponent. I threw my first ability on, don't really know why, thinking back, throw your Fleeting Breath and use your first ability to heal. I keep changing things. But Shield of Regal is a really good item because it gives Ah Puch an actual escape from his opponent. while he is very lacking in one of them. Relics, Aegis Amulet is incredible in this god. You can activate your ult, run around it, and assassins can't touch you. If you have Gem of ISO, they can't touch you because they're slowed. You're running, you drop your corpses in front of you. Now, I don't think I mentioned this time, but you can actually activate, you can blow up your first ability at any time, so you can blow up right in front of you if you really want it. Pick up the corpses and run faster because shield of regrowth and the 4% movement speed that it gives you. So this means that you can run around faster. And generally, I think people build a lot of power and push. I don't think it's right. I can understand a lot of pain because of his higher base damage and scalings. But the god doesn't have an escape. I'm expecting builds like this to actually come out for this sort of appear about like builds, high power builds and this, yes you do absolutely melt your targets. But this doesn't have an escape, so once an assassin gets to him, he has difficulties. Next, really, like I would recommend would be Magic Shell. That's really like a stupidly overpowered 400 shield. This is complete abilities you just mitigate. Now, if you use that as an assassin, most assassins are burst. They burst you down and get out, well they try at least. You stop, you slow down them getting out, your team can turn on them and start doing damage back while you are protected by your shield. Also, Aegis Amulet, 2 seconds. When you combine these two relics, you have about 4 seconds of invincibility. On higher damage people, maybe shell wouldn't last for 2 seconds, maybe last for, like a Scylla would just go through your shell really. But even so, you mitigate some of that damage, so you take less. And with your protections, with a 400 shield, you actually become quite tanky. And this is why I prefer a tankier build and push. If you build Bursty, you will just get focused by assassins with very little to do. Assassins will kill you faster than you can kill them, unless they are bad at the game. Most assassins like Thanatos will completely destroy you even in late game before you can kill them with Puch, because Puch again, his scaling aren't great, it's his base damage. Base mages don't work well in the late game. Ah Puch is one of the only ones I can actually come to the top of my head. There are certain base mages, which base damage mages, who work better in the late game. This is really, I can think of Freya, but Freya is very item reliant. Hastened Ring mostly, and Demonic Grip to get her damage across. So she's an exception to what I just said, but I think Ah Puch, this is the only build which will let Ah Puch still be effective in the late game. Late game, if you go damage build, you won't do damage. This god is early game damage, late game awfulness. But if you build tanky, you become annoying. You become not I wouldn't say a secondary tank, because you're not that tanky. But you become more like a supporty sort of thing, because your Gem of ISO slows, your Pythag piece gives you lifesteal. If you're with a Sobek who doesn't have Void Stone, because for some reason people build this item on tank, Genji's card is better, build it. You make sure that if Sobek ults someone, if you're close, the Sobek's ult does a lot of damage, it's very hard to get out of, but you make it do more damage because they will have protections. Most Guardians do not have actual, penetration, because most penetration items don't give you Guardian stats like health, defense, really. Ward Stone, that is its tier 2. Void Stone would be the only one which would, but the health is very low. The protections aren't the highest. It gives you power, which most Guardians have lower scaling, so they don't really work well with power. But Genji's Guard would work better. Just build Genji's Guard on tanks, please. Just stop building Void Stone. I understand some game moves like Duel, it works better. But I need to stop ranting on about a different topic. Just please take the advice. Also, don't build Atlantis boat. It's awful. Ninja Tabi access. Build your Ninja Tabi. Here's some gameplay. I'm just going to talk over this, just so you know what's going on. The team I was against wasn't actually that great, I would say. But I started as level 5, so I think the first few levels aren't that fun to watch. I would just really be... I think I have 2 kills at this point. They don't have anyone with a heal, sadly, but even without that, the squad is still good. I missed that ability awfully. This is not a good part, but I do well, trust me. Believe. But you see, I go around picking up the corpses I drop, which probably won't be used, or would be used way later in the game, just by accident or something. Because they'll just get destroyed normally, and it's better to at least get the mana from them. I shouldn't have blown the corpses up. It's all Ah Puch. Again, very bad managing me, buying mana Chelsea's, just trying to sustain. I cleared the wave very fast, but I actually ended up damaging him, so I actually got targeted. This Thor is very stupid for some reason, targeting our whole team. Just see I do a lot of damage to him. So, this is the early game where Ah Puch is at his highest damage numbers. Well, not highest damage numbers, but the best, because people's HP are low and really can't take an Ah Puch combo without losing about 60%. Okay. If you like this video, I'm going to be quiet now and just let the video play on. Please leave a like, subscribe. If you think I could do anything better or want to see a god, and if you want to see a god I could do, I will make a video on them if you leave it in the comments. This is just a beginner's guide to this god. I'm not the best player. Again, the god rating would be higher if the god was a wee bit stronger. I think he's a wee bit underpowered compared to other mages. I think the best way to balance him would be give fleeting breath. Part of his passive where he got to a cooldown. Just I don't really understand why it doesn't. Like all his basic abilities should. So again, leave a like, subscribe, constructive criticism in the comments. Otherwise, any gods you want. See you in the next one.
How will this benefit me? Okay. Enemy missing left. An enemy has been slain. right back. On my way. It breathes. Killing spree! Deicide! Good game! Good game! Your team has destroyed a middle enemy phoenix!